Peace and grace to you, beloved. You are not here by accident. This is not a coincidence. This moment has been divinely prepared. The stillness you feel in your spirit, the questions that have lingered too long, the ache that never fully dissolved, heaven knows. Heaven hears. And right now, heaven is speaking to you. Something sacred is unfolding, not just around you, but within you. You've been asking for confirmation. You've been sensing that there's more to what happened, more to what was said, and more to what was left unsaid. The timing of this message is precise, because what your soul has whispered in private is now being answered in the open. There's a divine message that carries weight for you, and only you, and it begins with this. You're not forgotten. Your words didn't disappear into silence. Angels have been holding on to something only you released, and now they're ready to reveal what they've kept safe all this time. If your spirit feels that stirring, if something deep in you already knows this is for you, type these words now. I receive. Let that be your agreement with what heaven is about to unfold. Angels say they still hold on to the last words you said. What you believed was forgotten, was never lost. What you whispered in pain, in surrender, in silence, was recorded in heaven. There are words you released that carried the weight of love, longing, closure, or hope. And though time has passed, those words never expired in the spirit. They still echo in the places unseen. They still rest in the hands of angels who never stopped listening. You thought it was over. You assumed your voice had faded into the background of someone else's life or destiny. But it didn't. It carried power. It left an imprint in eternity. Heaven heard what you said. And more than that, heaven honored it. Because what comes from a heart that is breaking, honest, surrendered, or pure, is never wasted. Angels say they have been carrying your last words like sacred letters sealed in divine timing. There is someone on the other end of that silence, and they still remember, not just with their mind, but with their soul. The heavens have preserved what you thought had vanished. And now, it's time to understand why those words still matter, why they are being brought back now. You're not just revisiting the past. You are stepping into a full circle moment. There's been a heaviness in your spirit, an ache you couldn't explain, a restlessness that stirred in quiet moments, in the middle of the night, or when certain memories returned without warning. You felt the absence, not just of a person, but of resolution. The closure never came. The answers never fully formed. And you wondered, why does this still follow me? Why does this still feel sacred? It wasn't just a heartbreak. It was a divine interruption. What ended wasn't a failure. It was a redirection. What felt like silence was actually a setup. There were conversations that never reached their conclusion. There were emotions you tried to bury because you thought moving on meant forgetting. But God never required forgetting. He required trusting, because even your confusion was part of something bigger. You were being positioned. Even in the middle of heartbreak, the hand of God was holding you together. Even when you didn't understand, you were still being written into something sacred. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Let those words settle in you. Your pain was never purposeless. It was permission for heaven to realign everything. You didn't lose what mattered. You were led away from what could not grow with you. There's been a holy rearrangement in your life, an unseen reordering of people, places, and emotions. What felt like a sudden exit? What felt like someone vanishing? was heaven making space. The silence that followed was not abandonment. It was alignment. The distance you experienced was not rejection. It was divine protection. There are times when God clears the room, not to punish, but to prepare. He doesn't remove to leave you empty. He removes to fill you correctly. He doesn't silence the noise to confuse you. He silences it so you can hear what was buried beneath it. That last conversation you had, the one that keeps replaying in your heart, was never final. It was a spiritual pivot point. It marked the end of what couldn't last and the beginning of what would be refined in the fire. Right now, angels are clearing what cannot continue with you. They are untangling connections that drained your purpose. They are protecting what is sacred by removing what is temporary. Let yourself exhale. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Heaven has not left you in pieces. Heaven is rearranging your story, so it can finally fit into the promise. There have been signs, quiet, consistent, and divine. They were not accidents. They were heaven's way of letting you know. The story is not over. Have you noticed the sudden dreams? The reappearance of names you once tried to forget? That song playing when your heart was heavy? That urge to visit a place that holds memory? This is not coincidence. This is coordination. The unseen is beginning to align with what your spirit has already known. You've been guided without realizing it. The moments that seemed random were perfectly placed. The encounters that felt small were seeds planted in divine soil. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Even when you were wandering, heaven was mapping your return. Even when you were doubting, your angels were working behind the veil. You are not chasing signs. You are being surrounded by them, and they all whisper the same truth. Something is coming back full circle. Something you thought had faded is preparing to return. Renewed, restored, realigned. Pause and breathe. Let that settle in your chest. You didn't imagine it. You've been guided, and heaven is still guiding you, one divine step at a time. You've questioned yourself more times than you've admitted. You've looked in the mirror and wondered if you were too much, too broken, too late. But heaven has never agreed with those lies. You are not too emotional. You are deeply attuned. You are not too sensitive. You are spiritually awake. You are not too late. You are exactly on time for what God is about to release. The pain you carried, yes, it changed you, but it didn't disqualify you. It refined you. It made you softer in a world that tried to harden you. There were days you doubted your worth. There were nights you prayed in silence, wondering if anyone truly saw you. Heaven did. Your angels never turned their eyes away. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Let that promise reach the places you've hidden. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Every tear, every ache, every unanswered prayer, it's being gathered into purpose. The silence you feared was a sign of abandonment, was actually the soil of sacred growth. Say it aloud now. I am not behind. I am not broken. I am being built for something holy. There is someone whose soul has been walking through the same fire. You have not seen them yet, or perhaps you have, but not fully. Either way, they exist, and they are being prepared, just like you. This isn't about fantasy. This is about covenant. This isn't about the rush of romance. This is about the restoration of divine design. They've cried too. They've wrestled with waiting. They've questioned whether their prayers were heard. They've wondered if someone could ever understand the depth they carry. And heaven kept them covered, just as heaven has kept you, because timing matters in the kingdom. They are not perfect, but they are purposed. They are not looking to be completed. They are being made whole, even now. Their heart is being softened, shaped, and sealed for a love that doesn't fade when storms come. They've been hidden in the shadow of God's wing, not because they are unreachable, but because they are being refined to meet you in fullness, not in fragments. What's forming is not fragile. It is forged, not rushed, revealed. And when it comes, when this person stands before you, your spirit will recognize what your mind could never imagine. This isn't just love. This is divine remembrance in human form. It won't feel like chaos. It won't stir anxiety, fear, or confusion. When it arrives, when this soul steps into your life, it will feel like peace, a quiet knowing, a whisper in your spirit that says, "This is safe, this is sacred, this is true." You won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for clarity. There will be no performance required. Your heart will be held, not weighed down. The peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. There will be stillness, not silence, comfort, not questioning. You'll feel seen, not scanned, loved, not evaluated. It may not look like what you imagined, but it will feel like what you've prayed for. You'll begin to notice the alignment, the way your values reflect, the way your wounds no longer clash but begin to heal beside each other, the way laughter returns and quiet moments become holy again. You'll recognize them by the peace in your own soul, by the absence of fear, by the presence of something eternal, resting in something human. You'll feel the voice of God echo in your spirit, not shouting, just still and steady, saying, "This is it. This is the one." Not a spark, but a sacred flame that never has to beg for air. Now is your moment to agree with what heaven is unfolding. Let your spirit rise. Let your heart speak. Say this aloud with boldness and belief. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Speak it as truth. Type it as an act of agreement. Let your fingers write what your soul already knows. There is power in your voice. There is movement in your declaration. What you declare, you invite. What you affirm, you begin to attract. Heaven responds to faith, and faith sounds like this: I am ready, ready for love that aligns, ready for peace that remains, ready for timing that redeems everything lost. So now, type it below as your first step into divine alignment. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Something has already shifted, not just around you, but within you. The stirring you feel, that's not imagination. That's movement. That's activation. That's spiritual timing opening before your eyes. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking. Heaven is not holding back your promise. Heaven is aligning your footsteps with it. This is the moment when invisible things begin to manifest. The seeds you've sown in silence, the prayers you've whispered in weariness, the tears you shed behind closed doors, they've all been gathered by the one who sees in secret. And now, he is rewarding openly. Heaven is realigning timelines, merging paths, awakening hearts, and opening gates that were once closed. Things you thought were delayed are now being delivered. Not because you forced it, but because you surrendered to the process. There's no need to force the door open. It's already being unlocked, not by human hands, but by holy design. Trust this pace. Walk with reverence. The atmosphere is shifting in your favor. Let this truth settle into your soul. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are divinely right on time. Everything heaven promised is in motion, and it's moving toward you even now. You haven't been the only one waiting. You haven't been the only one healing. There is another soul, tied to yours in ways beyond logic, who has also been walking their own sacred path. They've felt the ache of absence, the longing without words, the silent prayers whispered into the dark. God, is there someone who will see me, choose me, stay with me? And heaven heard. Just like heaven heard you. They've wrestled with their own doubts. They've had to unlearn patterns that broke them. They've had to release people who were never meant to stay. Their heart has been both broken and rebuilt by grace. They didn't get to skip the refining fire, but they stayed in it long enough to become someone who can carry covenant. They've been asking the same questions, and they've been shown the same hope. They're preparing, not performing. They're not chasing a fantasy. They're longing for what's real, what's holy, what's lasting. They cried out to God for someone like you. Not someone perfect. Someone present. Someone who prays. Someone who forgives. Someone whose love is rooted in something deeper than the surface. They're closer than you think. And heaven is not teasing either of you. Heaven is weaving the paths until you finally meet in divine time. They may not look like what you pictured. They may not come with the image your past was trained to desire. Because heaven doesn't match appearances. Heaven aligns hearts. You might be surprised. You might even question it at first. But remember this truth. God often wraps his greatest gifts in unexpected packaging. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. This person may not be your type, but they'll be your truth. They won't impress the surface. They'll speak to your spirit. They won't be flashy. They'll be faithful. Their strength won't come from charm. It will come from consistency. Their beauty won't just be in their face. It will be in how they make your soul exhale. Don't miss the miracle because it wasn't dressed in what the world calls attractive. God's choice for you will feel like home, not like a high. Stay open. Stay humble. Stay discerning. Heaven is about to surprise you, and what's coming will not just meet your expectations. It will cleanse them. It will exceed them. It will bless places you didn't know were still aching. This connection, it's not just about feelings. It's about purpose. Heaven is not sending you a partner just to fill time. Heaven is sending you someone to build with, to heal with, to walk in divine purpose with. This love will not stop at comfort. It will stretch you into your calling. It will uncover gifts you forgot you carried. It will speak life into dreams you buried. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. This is bigger than romance. This is legacy. This is generational healing. This is divine restoration. The kind of union that breaks cycles, that rebuilds family lines, that speaks God's name into the next generation. Your love story is a part of heaven's larger plan. It's not just about you. It's about who will be blessed through you. When you come together, you won't just fall in love. You'll rise in purpose. You'll feel God's wind behind your voice. You'll feel heaven's hand in your shared mission. This is why it took time. This is why it had to be right. Because what you're being prepared for is not shallow. It's sacred. It's holy work. And it begins the moment you say yes to more than love. You say yes to purpose. It's time to speak again. Not just to the air, but to the atmosphere that surrounds your life. To the angels standing on assignment. To the future that's already listening. Say this out loud. I am prepared and expecting divine alignment in every area of my life. Let your voice be the trumpet of agreement. Let your spirit echo the yes that heaven has already spoken. You are not hoping in vain. You are standing in agreement with purpose. Now, type it below as a sign of faith in motion. Prepared and expecting. Every time you write it, you're opening the door wider. Every time you speak it, you're anchoring the vision deeper. Every act of faith is a seed, and this one will grow. Say it again. Prepared and expecting. Prepared for love that lasts. Expecting timing that heals. Prepared for purpose beyond what I imagined. Expecting to be met by what only God could send. Let this be your second seal. The first was faith. This is the follow-through. Let this settle deep within your spirit. You are not being teased by heaven. You are being trusted. Trusted with timing. Trusted with truth. Trusted with a love that carries eternity in its bones. This is not a delay. It is a divine unfolding. You haven't missed your moment. You are standing in it. Everything has been leading to this alignment. The pain, the waiting, the refining. Beloved, heaven has not forgotten your name. Heaven has not misplaced your promise. It is nearer than you know, and it's being carried by angels even now. The one who is meant to find you is being led by light, by purpose, by timing, and they will not miss you. You don't have to strive to make this happen. You only need to stay ready, stay faithful, stay open. This is your confirmation, your assurance, your quiet miracle in motion. You are loved. You are seen. You are on the edge of something sacred. Now exhale and rest in the knowing. It's already on its way.